Hello everybody and welcome back, and the party just made it across this canyon by climbing down one side and up the other, and there was a lot of falling and such. And they are here. They have to spend the night on this rather narrow path. Luckily the weather is not that bad, in fact it's coming into summer. And so it will take the guts of another day to wind around to here. There is a lot of curing to be done because there was a lot of fall damage. I might as well do this, just for the sake of getting it over and done with. This might be a rather short session because I'm as sick as a dog, though dogs tend to be reasonably healthy. And I want to put something up rather than nothing. And as you will see later on, there's a lot of homework to do for the DM. So let's see if we can get Malin from 10 HP to 14. And we can. That wasn't too difficult. So that's his dose of the Staff of Healing. Carrick will surely need 2 because he's on 23. We'll try 1. Fingers crossed he might get a 6. He gets a 4. He's up to 28. That's good enough. Stephen's on 23. Donard's on 38. Sylvia's on 14 and Liz is on 20. The average of rolling d6 plus 1 will be 4.5. So it seems a bit of a waste if somebody is just 3 or 4 hit points from max to use a dose of the Staff of Healing. Right, now we have the same situation as before. We finally see city gates, something that looks like civilization across the canyon. However, this bridge is broken and this is going to be another session of dice rolling. Well, it might be. Why the authors put this in twice, I don't know, but we're expected to climb down the valley and up again on the other side. However, in the comments section last time, there were several comments on climbing. Climbing is new to me and the party, and so all advice is welcome. Some of the advice was that you roll once for the whole cliff surface. That seems reasonable. The other one is that you make better use of the ropes. And one idea was that you get somebody to climb up and they haul everybody else after them. I don't think we have somebody strong enough to do that. Liz can climb up by herself. The next strongest person is Carrick, so he would have to haul 4 people up every stage. That would be quite tough. But the idea did suggest another idea where you tie a second rope around somebody's waist. We have a second rope, so if they fall, and you gauge the length of the rope, so if they should fall, they don't hit the deck. They sort of just end up swinging there, maybe just 1 or 2 feet above the ground level. And that would be enough to, maybe you would take 1 damage for the jerk of the rope. It might be quite severe, but you don't take the full damage because you don't hit the deck. So that's essentially what the party will do. They'll climb down here using ropes and tying ropes around the waist and feeding the person while everybody else holds onto the rope. Why we didn't do that before, I don't know. So they make it down easily enough. On the other side, Liz and Carrick will climb up. Liz will climb up with the rope. Carrick will follow her. They will then feed a second rope down to the party. Each party member will tie the rope around their waist. And when they get to a couple of feet above ground level, that rope will get tied around a rock. It just has to be a bit of it, not quite a slip knot. It doesn't have to be a full knot. So if that person falls, they will only fall as far as the rope lets them. So I will do 1 roll for everybody. I'll do a roll for Liz, who can only really fail on a 100. She gets a 99. Oh my god. Okay, maybe this side's a bit greasier. She says, hold on folks. Wow, look at that. It's a shame it's upside down for the camera. Oh dear, we're starting the way we left off. Right, and let's roll for everybody for the whole side of the cliff, and if any of them fall, they lose a point. I might do it twice for everybody, just to make it a bit more realistic. So here comes Malin's 2 rolls. He has an 80% chance of success, and if he throws above 80, he will fall to the length of the rope, and the rope will snag him around the waist. It'll be sore, but it won't be as bad as hitting these little surfaces. And he throws an 82. Okay, so he might fall down the first one, and he's swinging there going, oh my god, my ribs. But anyway, he takes 1 point of damage. and he makes it to the top. We'll do Sylvia. Oh God. And she throws a 99 and a 90. I can't believe it. Or maybe I can. So she slips and falls once where Malin did and goes, oh, my ribs. And then she does it again. And so she loses 2 points. She's down to 12. She's definitely going to get a Staff of Healing. Next we have Stephen. He throws a 74, which is bad enough, but another 98. Just when you want high numbers, you never get them. And when you don't want them, you get them. Right, so he falls on the second stage, and he's down to 22. Then we have Donard, who does very well. He throws a 46 and a 1. And then lastly we have Carrick, who's been... So it's up to Liz to tie the rope maybe a couple of times around a bit of sticking up rock, or maybe even try to, tie a knot in the rope and then put the knot into a crack so it doesn't slip. And he throws a natural 100, and that's on the first stage. So he's like, oh, this hasn't gone too well. But eventually everybody makes it to the top. And they're faced with these gates. Let's describe the situation. Okay, on the far side of the gorge, at the foot of the 40-foot high wall, is a narrow ledge, 2 feet wide. The gates are 15 feet high and 20 feet wide. They are decorated with unintelligible geometric designs. They are closed with heavy iron bars on the far side and open away from the gorge. Standing beside the ancient roadway, just inside the gates, are 2 12-foot tall rock living statues with jackal heads. Right, well, the party have to get through the gates. While we try the gates, they don't budge. Liz is going to try and pick the lock. There doesn't seem to be a keyhole. So, well, we have a knock spell, which Sylvia keeps. It's always there as that useful spell, and lo and behold, she casts knock on the gates. The bar on the other side falls away, and we push the gates open. And the party see these 2 statues on either side. Right, we've encountered some metal statues before, and they didn't do anything. We needed the needle to open the gates in that previous encounter, and when Malin put the needle away, the statues attacked. We're not going to fall for that one a second time, so as soon as the gates swing open and the 2 statues are revealed, I'll do an intelligence check for Malin. Oh yes, he gets a 2. That's well under 17. So yes, he easily susses that the needle might have some kind of connection. So he pulls the silver needle out from one of his pockets and, well, nothing happens. He's sort of tempted in that sort of perverse curiosity that he has to put the needle away just to see what happens. But Carrick catches him about to do that. Carrick just says, "Sonny, don't let your curiosity destroy us." And, well, Malin keeps the needle out and he sort of holds it out like this, walking backwards away from the statues. And finally, the party enter the lost city of Hutaaka, and we will look at that in a minute. Right, here is the lost valley of Hutaaka, and as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages of description just to understand this lost city. Right, we have a map, and the map is here. Right, the fallen bridge is here. The gateway is here. So the party have just entered into here, and 1 hex is 2 miles. So the first thing which would be apparent to everybody is this flat plain surrounded by high mountain walls, and it really would look dramatic. I need to find a key to work out what these triangles, squares and dots mean. So as you can see, I have a lot of homework to do as the DM, but let's read a bit together. Hutaaka is now only a dim shadow of its former grandeur. Most of it lies deserted, and many of its once fine buildings are little more than crumbling shells. The eastern half of the valley where the adventurers enter is desolate, but war rages in the western part, the war in which the adventurers will have an important role to play. In addition, the characters are faced with the menace of the Karatoba, a new monster, a timeless evil which preys on the valley's inhabitants. Only after the destruction of the Karatoba can the adventurers discover Hutaaka's hidden wealth. Right now we're told there are two factions. Well, let's look at them. They're the Hutaakans, and we have seen statues of these people around the place, so they're clearly quite advanced and civilized, and very ancient. And then there are the Traldar. Now the Traldar were the original inhabitants of Karamikios before it got taken over by Duke Stefan, and there is indeed a Church of Traldar still active, and Donard is part of it. Donard does not look like this. In the thousands of years since, these are probably the original Traldars who have been cut off from the rest of humanity, and while the other humans outside of the valley have grown to look more taller and a bit less, well, the ones that have remained behind clearly have not evolved. So let's read first impressions. Beyond the wall, a broad valley hemmed in on all sides by sheer mountains stretches away northwards into the haze. Like the road which led you here, the glories of those ancient ones are long since faded. The stones of the trail leading along the valley floor are overgrown and flanked by decaying, deserted buildings. Higher up the valley walls, other low structures cling to the rock faces, but these too have fallen victim to the passage of time. Nothing moves save the wind, and the deathly silence swallows up the sound of your footsteps. Nicely written. Okay, in the valley, no birds or insects can be heard. Only the sound of the party's footfalls breaks the unnatural silence, adding to the adventurers' disquiet. This unease can take many forms: a tingling down the spine, a feeling of being watched, a soft noise heard by only one person, an unaccountable sweating of the palms or an itch between the shoulder blades. The following atmosphere building events can be used in any order and may be used several times. Okay, and here is a list of noises to tell the party. And here, right at the bottom, is a list of random monster tables. Okay, I'm really going to have to do some homework here, and I think I'm going to go back to bed. God, I wish I had a hot whiskey. And read up on what's going to happen next. But the party are coming to the end of this huge adventure. Right, and on that note, this is a shorter session, and I would rather put something up than nothing, so I will leave it here for today. Crawl under the covers and read up on what is meant to happen next, and I will see you all next time.